Hello and welcome back to the Restaurant Show. Right now I am joined by Rosie's Coffee Bar and Bakery. Kaz is with us here today. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for coming. I'm very excited because we're going to do some interactive stuff today. I'm actually going to learn kind of how to do one of the cakes you guys have. And we're starting out with which one? I'm going to teach you how to make a Mother's Day hat cake. And this would be your Mother's Day hat cake. So we're going to learn how to do that.
Yep. Anyone at home can do this cake when you're done learning.
So put your TiVo right now. You're going to make this cake with me. Okay. So how does it start out?
Well, first you're going to take a board or even just a plate, and we're going to do our cake base. So you just smear it on here. See, it looks like I had all kinds of skills and stuff, but I don't really. You just do that. You just have to know how to do it.
Sure.
So we're smearing this on. Want to get it nice and thick.
And that would be kind of the brim of the hat that we see here?
Yeah, you can do any color frosting. This is a chocolate, this is an Italian meringue buttercream with a little ganache in it.
That just sounds good. I don't know what half the things you said were.
Well, you need a candy thermometer to make this frosting, but you can do this with any frosting. We do everything from scratch at Rosie's, and this is a fun frosting that we do, and this one, it does take a few times to get it right, but once you know how to do it, it's really awesome. Okay, so there's our brim. Now we're going to do our cake. So we have our little cake here that's baked.
All right, and is there like a specific mold you use for that cake?
No, this is just a little cake, just a little 6-inch cake. You can do these are 8-inch. You know, if you really want to, you can bake in your Pyrex bowl. So we're going to put some filling in this cake because that sounds yummy, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. So you could really make this in any size you wanted to, too.
Yep.
All right.
So there. So we're going to set this down here. Put some filling. One of the secrets to not get the crumbs, you know how sometimes you get all the crumbs in the frosting, is you want to keep, and this is just a pie server. I just kind of like doing that. You just keep it on top of the mound of frosting, and see how we're pushing out.
Sure.
And then that doesn't let the crumbs get in. So there's just. If you do get crumbs, what you do is you put it in the refrigerator and you let it set up, and then you just put a second coat on top, and you've got your crumbs all covered up, because that's one of the frustrations with frosting a cake is getting crumbs in the frosting.
So you almost never have your spatula or whatever you use touch the actual cake, because it's all floating on top of the frosting.
Yeah, and then we're just going to kind of cut a little, like a little, hat mold there.
So far I can do it, so I know you guys can do it too.
Let's try and trim it.
So with designs like this, when you're going through them, is it just kind of trial and error, or you already have it kind of presented in your mind what you're going to do? How do you kind of come up with these ideas?
You know what? The customers are always the ones, it's like their creativity, they have ideas. I've heard the saying, your imagination is my inspiration. There. And get our crumbs out of here.
And you can eat the scraps.
Yep. And now we're going to just frost that top part. And because it's like a wicker hat, it doesn't have to be smooth. It's okay if it's not.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Like you can see this one, it looks exactly how we want it to. And that's the same thing you're going through right now.
Yeah.
And you already mentioned how we can take care of the crumbs and stuff on the bottom. And that little cutting gives it that shape. This comes together pretty. You're right. I didn't believe you that this is something that I'd be able to accomplish, but I can do it. I can try this when I go home tonight even.
Yeah, we're just putting a bunch of frosting on, and this would be a great project for kids to make for their moms.
Yes.
You could even do this with like a little cupcake. I mean, it's just all...
on a smaller scale.
Do all kinds of stuff. Those lights are hot on the frosting.
It is really hot in here as we're kind of making sure we got enough lighting at Rosie's to make everything look good.
Yeah. You get some of this out.
And that's just, one style of cake you do. We have, a purse over here. Maybe a more, what would you call that, like a formal cake?
That's more of a cake decorator, because she did the frosting flowers, so there's going to be, that's going to be a little bit more skill to pull that one off, and it's a bigger cake. And then we have, this is just like a birthday cake with all hand-formed gum paste flowers on it. That's definitely more of a skill that you have to do that one.
And all of these and many more are available
We have
at Rosie's.
Yep, we have photo albums there, and we have a lot of pictures on Pinterest and our Facebook page and our website. And we're just gonna kind of, it's melty. Okay, and then we have a cool little tool, but you know what? You can use a fork at home. And we're just gonna get like a little...
Just lightly graze around it to kind of give it that texture and shape.
Yep. We're doing this one fast. I would probably, because of the heat, put this in the cooler and get a second coat on there.
So it's not going to be 80-some degrees when you're doing this at home, so you'll be okay.
Yeah.
But you can see how easily that comes together as we're putting it through.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, this could be anything from a birthday cake to a Mother's Day or Father's Day sort of cake. Something you could do as a family at home. What other sort of cakes do you guys do? We were talking a little bit before, obviously weddings and things like that.
Graduation is coming up. Wedding cakes, graduations, lots of just sheet cakes, retirement cakes. We have a really cool, we did a bowling alley cake last year. We have that picture on our Facebook. That was like our Cake Boss moment. And then we had, we had made edible bowling pins and everything.
Oh, wow.
All sorts of birthday cakes, just all sorts of themes and everything. All right, these are not going on my hot hands.
Any holiday or event, cakes are a good idea, regardless.
Exactly, yes. Now we're gonna put the bow on, and you can just get any bow at any, any sort of craft store, or even when you go to the florist usually has extra bows.
Oh, sure.
There.
Wrap right around.
Yeah. And we're going to just put a little bit of frosting right here.
And that'll work as kind of a glue for it?
And then that's also glue for our flowers.
For our last little touch here.
Yeah. Put that on. And so you don't need to know how to make frosting flowers. We're just putting it in there.
Finish that up.
Yeah.
And look at this!
And then we have after this, we have one more little thing. We have a little bow.
Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. So that is our hat cake. You can see a lot of the other ones that are available right at Rosie's Cafe and Bakery. So get anything you want. They have a lot more. They have pictures you can choose from and several other things. Anytime is a good time for cake. So Kaz, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back with more of the restaurant show after this.